Good morning, students. Today we will discuss the centralization and decentralization concept in case of the management. So, the concept of centralization is defined as the systematic and consistent reservation of authority at central point within the organization. This means the scope for delegation is limited as far as possible. The decisions are taken at the executive levels, including thereby the subordinates from taking decisions or performing some works. Okay, so that is the concept of centralization. There is a systematic and consistent reservation of authority is there. So whatever the authority is there, that is kept at the central point, means at the top levels within the organization, and this means the scope for delegation is limited. Delegations scope is very limited as far as possible, and therefore the decisions are taken at the executive levels, precluding thereby the subordinates from taking the decisions or performing some tasks. Okay, so as stated by the Lewis A. Allen, the centralization denotes that the majority of the decisions having to do with the work being performed are not made by those doing the work, but at a point higher in the organization. The meaning of this sentence is that the majority of the decisions are made in the organization that are not made by the people who are working at the bottom levels, but at the top levels at the in the organizations. Further, Henry Foyle defines it as everything that goes to increase the importance of subordinates' role is decentralization. Just contrast to the centralization, that the work decision is taken, majority of the decision is taken at the central levels, but in contrast to the centralization, Foyle has defined further that everything that goes to increase the importance of the subordinates role is decentralization. Okay, everything which goes to reduce it is a centralization. Types of this types of centralization. So the centralization is generally the decision are made at the central level, at the top level of the management. Foyle has talked out about four types of centralization. They are little centralization, generally found in the small organizations. Little centralization is there, means whole power is not given to all the at the bottom level. Okay, so there is a little centralization, and in some organization there is a more centralization. I mean, generally the large and widespread organization follows it. No more centralization means all the decisions they are taken at the top level. More centralization is there. Effective centralization means time to time effectiveness are just okay. That is called the effective centralization. Even though there is a centralization, that means power or the decision is taken at the management level or at the top level, but there is a time to time effectiveness or just that is the effective centralization. Next is a no centralization. Management enjoys the freedom of authority and responsibilities. That is, they enjoy the freedom of authority and responsibility that happens only in the organization where there is a no centralization. Okay, so there must be the combination of both centralization or the complete decentralization after taking into considerations okay the nature of organization, its size and operational areas, etc. So in some organization there is always some combination of both the centralization and decentralization, and therefore uh, complete decentralization after taking into the considerations the nature of the organization, its size and operational areas. So this also depends on the types of the organization. Okay. Some academicians have classified centralization in three different ways as the departmental centralization, means concentration of the specialized activity in the department or unit. So centralization, that is departmental centralization. Next is the performance-based centralization. It is mainly geographic or single area based centralization. Geographic means it is related to the area, particular area, or single area based centralization. Means we can say the centralization is only limited to the single area. There is not a complete centralization in the whole of the organization, but it is mainly geographic or some single area based centralization is there, that is called as the performance based centralization. Centralization of movements, it means restrictions of delegation to make the decisions. Okay. Centralization of management means the management is taking the decision at the central level. So there is a restriction of the delegation to make decision. The factor affecting the centralization, there are leading factors influencing the centralization. They are as follows. Okay. And that facilitates personal leadership. So what is the factor that are influencing the centralization? That facilitates personal leadership where company size is not large. Okay. So whenever there is a centralization is there, the persons, they have the opportunity to develop the leadership. Whenever the company size is not large, physical leadership plays an important role, particularly at the early stage of its growth. Okay. So when you have the personal leaderships and once you get the experience of the leadership, that will play an important role, particularly at the early stage of its growth. So under such a form of organization, personal leadership will have the potent influence, retaining power of authority and responsibility at the central point. Okay. Under such form of the organization, if such type of the organization is there, then personal leadership will have the potent influence, retaining the power of authority and responsibility at the center level. Whatever the power of authority and responsibility are there, that are kept at the center level. Next point is a factor that influence the centralization is the forward integration. Integration is very important because while looking for people to hire, we always look for three qualities. These three qualities are: first is the integrity, second is the intelligence, and third is the energy. And it is said that if they do not have the first quality, then the other two qualities will kill you. This is the statement by the Warren Buffett. Okay, so it is very necessary to have the integrity, and that centralization provides the integration for the accomplishment of operation of the enterprises. It is found by many companies that integration of activity is an essence of operation, and its objectives can be fulfilled only when there is a centralization in the company. Okay. So companies that integration of activity is an essence of operation, and its objective can be fulfilled only when there is a centralization in the company. Integration of all the activities only possible, and or we can say that it is an essence of operation. Integration of activity is an essence of operation, and its objectives can fulfill only when there is a centralization in the company. Next point is that promote uniformity of action. When a company desires that its all branches must have the uniform policy as regards purchase, what sales, advertisements, etc., and feels that there should be the uniformity in existence, there must be centralization of authoritative decisions. Okay, so whenever there is a centralization is there, then there is a certain policies there which regards to the purchase, sales, advertisement. Okay, but if there is a suppose not centralization, then the decisions are taken at the different levels, and therefore there is not uniform policies maintained as far as the purchase, sales, and advertisement is concerned. So this promote the uniformity of actions. So centralization promotes the uniformity of actions. So handle emergencies. Okay, so whenever there is a emergencies are there that can be handled efficiently if the centralization is there. Emergency decisions that are likely to affect all units of the company are made by the central authority. Okay, whatever the emergency decisions are arises in any organizations that are likely to affect all the units of the company are made by the central authority to maintain the proper equilibrium between the executives and subordinates of all different units. So the environmental influence beside the factors mentioned above, there are the environmental factors or external factors that affect the degree of centralization, including government regulation of business and tax policies. Okay, so environmental influence is also there as far as the centralization is concerned. Beside the factors mentioned above, there are the environmental factors. Which are the environmental factors or external factors? We can control the internal factors, but what about the external factors? External factors that affect the degree of centralization, including the government regulations of business and tax policies. Okay, that are the external factors. Advantage of centralization. Centralization of authority and responsibility has the following advantages. Symbol of prestige. Okay, whenever there is a centralization of authority and responsibility is there, then it is an indication of the prestige or symbol of prestige. Besides of centralized power, the chief executives of the enterprises will get more power and importance, which is a prestige symbol for him. Uniformity in policies, decision, etc. As policies, decisions, and practices are made at top levels of enterprises, there will be uniformity in them. Uniformity in policies, decision, etc. As policies, decisions, and practices are made at the top level of the enterprises, there will be uniformity in them. Just we have discussed sometime before that there's whenever there is a centralization, there is uniformity in policy about the purchase, okay, purchase or sale of the equipment or like that. Okay, so that is the uniformity in policy. Next is the lower cost. Few number of the specialist staffs are required under the centralization, as they are pulled up centrally, and fewer physical resources are required as the quantum of their work and scopes are adequate to supports. So the lower cost. So whenever we require the lower cost, that is the advantage of centralization. Few number of specialist staffs are required under the centralization, as they are pulled up centrally. Okay, and fewer physical resources are required, which aims at reduction in operating cost. That is the advantage of centralization. And next advantage is better specialist. Centralization aims at use of the few highly qualified specialists. Better specialist means as we require the few highly qualified specialists, obviously the company or the organization will hire the better specialist so that they can handle their organization efficiently, as the quantum of their work and the scopes are adequate to support. So that is possible only when there is a centralization of authority or power is there. So tighter control. Next advantage is under centralization, all the facts are coming to the notice of top executives. Under centralization, all the facts are coming to the notice of the top executives, because the decisions are taken at the top level. Therefore, they are aware about all the things which is happen in the organizations. Okay, he himself can use this authority to set the things right. In this way, centralization aims at greater and tighter control, flexibility and quick adaptability. Flexible, that is the very important characteristics of the human being also. At the same time, this advantage of centralization. Since decision making is centralized, the organization becomes more flexible. Okay, and it is able to adapt itself to change circumstances quickly and efficiently. It can react to change environment with greater rapidity. Better coordination is the one other advantage of the centralization. Centralization leads to better coordination. Centralization leads to the better coordination between the different department in an organization. So if the centralization is there, then there will be the better coordination among different department in an organization, and chances of conflicts of authority are greatly reduced. As the decisions are taken at the top levels, therefore there are no chances of conflicts of authorities are there, or it should be greatly reduced, or it is greatly reduced. A duplication of work does not occur. At the same time, duplication of work is also not uh, happen. Okay, and are not occurs, and this thus efficiency sets in. So this will automatically will increase the efficiency of the work. Personal leadership. The centralized system of management is characterized by the personal leaderships which ensure the quick and timely decision making and implementation. Okay. So the personal leadership whenever is there, and that is possible only in case of the centralization. In organization where centralization of power is there, the centralized system of management is characterized by the personal leadership, which ensures quick and timely decision making and implementation. Advantage of centralization. Next are the sorry, there is these are the disadvantages. The disadvantage of centralization may be had from the following. Okay, the bureaucratic leadership. Actually, these are the disadvantages. Bureaucratic leadership. The centralized management resembles a dictatorial form of the leadership where employees are the only expected to deliver results according to what the top executives assign them. So that are the disadvantages of the centralization. Means what happens, as every coin has two sides, as there are some advantages, there are also disadvantages of the centralization. First disadvantage of the centralization is the bureaucratic leadership. So centralized management resembles a dictatorial form of the leadership where employees are only expected to deliver the results according to what the top executives assign to them. Means at the bottom levels, whatever the work is assigned to them, they have to deliver the results according to the order given by the top executives. Employees are unable to contribute to the decision making process of the organization, and therefore they have to just follow the orders and rules and regulation from the given by the top managements, and they cannot contribute themselves for the decision making process, and they are merely implementers of the decision made at the higher levels. Whatever the decisions are taken at the higher levels, that the followers has to implement. Okay, so that is the disadvantage of the centralization. Next disadvantage is the remote control. The organization executives are under tremendous pressure. The organization executives are under the tremendous pressure for formulate decision for the organization, and they control over the implementation process. Okay, the failure of executives to decentralize the decision making process adds a lot of work to their desk. Okay, so whenever the centralization is there, that means every decision has to take at the top levels, and therefore sometimes the remote control with their hand is there. But what happens, the organization executives, they are under tremendous pressure to formulate the decision for the organization, because they have to take the decisions, and therefore they have to formulate the decision for the organization and they lack control over the implementation process. The failure of executives to decentralize the decision-making process adds a lot of work to their decks, as there is no decentralization of the decision-making process, and therefore all the works they has to take at the top levels, and therefore this adds a lot of work for their decks. Next disadvantage of centralization is the delays in work. Okay, the centralization results in delay in work as records are sent to and from the head office. Okay, so centralization means every decision is taken at the top levels. So a decision has to come from the head office. Head office may be located far away from the workplace, and therefore there may be the delays in work as records are sent to and from the head office. Employees rely on the information communicated to them from the top, and there will be the loss in the man hours if there are delays in relaying the records. Okay, so obviously the decisions are taken at the top level, and top level management may be sometimes located far away from. Now it is a such things are not happen because with the help of the media we can get the faster communication in today's world, but sometimes uh, that is the fact is that there is always delay in works whenever the centralization is there, because suppose the person their head office is located not near to the workplace, so therefore information communication is generally relying on the top, and if the top has not communicated to the lower level, there will be the loss of man hours. If they will not get the orders for the next work, then they will just sit idly. Okay, and therefore there will be the loss of man hours, and there are delays in relaying the records. Next disadvantage of centralization is the lack of employees loyalty. So employees are loyal, but if there is a centralization, the disadvantage may be that we there is a lack of employee loyalty. The employees become loyal to an organization when they are allowed personal initiatives in the work they do. Okay, whenever their decision is taken into considerations, then they they are loyal to the organizations. Okay, so they can introduce their creativity and suggest ways of performing certain tasks. However, in centralization, there is no initiative in work because employees perform tasks conceptualized by the top executives. Okay, so that is the disadvantage of the centralization. Next is the concept of decentralization. What is the concept of decentralization? Contrast to the centralization, it is a decentralization. Decentralization may be defined as a situation in which ultimate authority and commands and ultimate responsibility for the result is located as far down in the organization as efficient management of the organization permits. Okay, so it is carried out by creating under a central organization a number of autonomous units with mandates to operate as independent unit. Okay, so from the definition, it is clear that the decentralization is a systematic efforts made for delegating authority to the lowest levels in the organization. Right? That is the decentralization. Means there is no restriction of the authority and power at the top levels. Everything is delegated. Authority is also delegated to the lowest levels in the organization. Next is the right to take decision on vital matters which will remain with the central authority. Okay, but when the lowest levels receive the orders, they receive them with the necessary amount of responsibility and authority. Okay, so the right to take decision on vital matters will remain with the central authority. even though there is a decentralization of the authorities there, but some vital matters the management kept with them. They remain always with the central authority. But when the lowest level receive orders, they receive them with necessary amount of responsibility and authority. Next we'll look about the types of decentralization. There are four different types of decentralization. First is the functional decentralization. So what about the functional decentralization? This type of decentralization occurs when the specialist departments are delegated in decision-making authority. Most common departments are human resource department, marketing, finance, and production. These are all the functional decentralization. Okay, where the functional decentralization is happen, and these departments are human resource departments, marketing departments, finance, and production departments are there. This is the first type of the decentralization. Next is the federal decentralization. This occurs when the authority is divided between the different product lines of the business. For example, a vehicle manufacturing could have the separate truck, car, and bus divisions. Okay, that is a federal decentralization. For vehicle manufacturers, if it is a vehicle manufacturing organization is there, they could have their separate trucks, car, and bus divisions. Next is the regional decentralization. So this happens when a business such as a multinational has bases in many different regions or countries. Each one has authority over its own operation. Regional decentralization. This happens when business such as a multinational has bases in many different regions or countries. Each one has the authority over its own operation. That is called as the regional decentralization. Decentralization by products. This occurs when a particular products, for example, the design of the new aircrafts is given to the team involving people from all functional areas. That is the decentralization by project. Means we have to choose the leaders or the people from the functional areas, even though they are working from the different project. The design of the new aircraft is supposed it is given to the team involving people from all functional bases. Okay, so that is they choose the people from the functional areas. Criteria for decentralization. What are the criteria? Bhattacharya DK has referred to Ernest Dale, who has listed the following criteria for decentralization. So what are the criteria for decentralization? The number of decisions. The greater the number of decisions made down the management hierarchy, the more is the decentralization. So that is the number of decisions. So greater the number of decisions made down the management hierarchy, the more is the decentralization. That is the meaning of the number of decisions taken by the organization. So the importance and significance of decision. The important and the costlier decisions are made down the management hierarchy, and more is the degree of decentralization. Whatever the decisions and costlier decisions they are made at the management hierarchies, means at the lower levels also that take the decisions, and that is the more is the degree of decentralization. Next is the effect of decision. The more functions are affected by decisions made at the lower levels and in turn affect the organization structure, and the greater is the degree of decentralization. Okay, that is the effect of decision. Next is the decentralization is the best where no change has to be made. Okay, whenever there is a no change we have to make in any organization, then decentralization is best. And in a relatively stable work environment which need not get influenced by the changes in the external environment, the degree of centralization can be more. Okay, in the organizations where we need not get influenced by the changes in the external environment, whenever the organization is not influenced by any external change or external environment, for example, the government policies, rules and regulations, then in such organization, the degree of decentralization can be more. Factor affecting decentralization, we are discussing the factors affecting decentralization may be put down as follows. Easy age burden on the top executives. Whatever the burdens are there on the top executives, we have seen in the centralization organization, that is generally not there in case of the decentralization, because there is a age burden on top executives. The burdens are disloaded from the executives. Centralization of authority puts the whole responsibility on the shoulders of the executives. Whatever the responsibilities are there, that is put on the shoulders of the executives, and that is the proper decentralization. And this his immediate group, okay, it is given to the shoulders of executive and his immediate group, and this will put the executives in an embarrassing position because he is overburdened with each and every aspect of management. Facilitate diversification. Diversification of products or marketing is possible when divisionalization is generally based on the principle of decentralization. Even without the diversification, a company can grow very large either in sales or employees and can be managed by one man, provided problems presented to him are limited in respect to his capacity and not complex and varied. That is how the decentralization facilitates diversifications. Next is the factor provide market and product emphasis. When a company is not in a position to satisfy its customer by supplying the products and fails very badly to face the competition, it is ascribed to an inefficiency of a highly centralized management. Okay, so provide market and product emphasis. So that is when we have seen the company which is not in position to satisfy the customers by supplying the products. We can take the example of the Nokia. Okay, previously the Nokia brand was there in the world. The mobile phones were manufactured by the large amount and it were also sold in the market by the large amount. But as the company was not in position to satisfy its customers by supplying the new products, for example, Android phones and like that, the company fails, and therefore uh, it is there in inefficiency of the highly centralized management is there, and that is the reason this is one of the factors that influence the decentralization. Encourage development of the managers. If the management is centralized, hardly one or two chance to take decisions on vital matters. This method provides no opportunity to others, either at the middle or lower level of management, to develop their thinking powers, nor gives them the chance to show their ability, skills, or efficiency in handling matters independently. Okay, so if management is centralized, just we have seen the advantage as well as disadvantages of the centralization. And if management is centralized, hardly one or two chances to take the decision is on the vital matters. These methods provides no opportunity to the other to either at the middle or low levels, because they do not need to take the decisions. When they never take their decisions, they cannot use their knowledge, their skill, their experience in decision making, and leading the groups in the organization, and therefore they cannot show their skills, ability, or efficiency in handling the matter independently. Next is the improve motivation. Okay, 4 minutes are there. Take the attendance, screenshot of the attendance, and send me the attendance. Okay. So improve motivations. It has been observed that organization structure can influence the motivation of people within the company. Okay, if the organization structure is based on sound principles, it also motivates managers to go highest productivity. That is why the motivation must be there in the organization, because the organization structure can influence the motivation of people within the company. And if the organization structure is not well developed, then probably it will not influence the motivation of people within the company. But decentralization, it said that it improves the motivation. If the organization structure is based on sound principles, it also motivates the managers to the highest productivity. Importance of decision. The importance of timely decision making is crucial factor that influence the decentralization of authority. Okay. And the next is the size of organization. The size of organization is another factor that affect the decentralization also. So whenever there is a small organization is there, then we can say there is a centralization is there. And whenever the large organization is there, at the same time centralization may also be there, but we can also observe the decentralization. But size of the organization will also one of the factor, okay, that consider in the decentralization. The size of the organization is another factor that affect the decentralization. Next is the uh, advantage of decentralization. There are various advantages of decentralization, such as gives relief to the higher executives, because decisions are taken at the lower level and middle levels. Therefore, the executives, though they do not need to take always decisions except the some crucial matters. So by delegating the part of their ability, part of their authority to the subordinates, higher top executives will get some relief, and he can concentrate his time on important matters. Okay, in fact, decentralization is a means of expanding business activities. Okay, because as the business is spread across the world, okay, the decentralization process must be there, because suppose our company is headquartered in Mumbai in India, and if, okay, obviously the TCS company, I think this is headquartered in Mumbai. I'm not sure, but I think it is headquartered in Mumbai, but it is functioning all over the world. Okay, but there is a decentralization of power is there, but decentralization is there because it is also expanding their business activities across all the nook and corner of the world. So this facilitates managerial development. As a delegation of a part of authority of higher executives to the subordinates will get experience in discharging his superiors. This will make the juniors to learn work and become capable for promotion. So this much of is sufficient today. Thank you very much for listening carefully. Take the attendance and send me the screenshot of the attendance. Thank you very much.